when I was a kid, man, I loved Powder magazine. I just don't try to read magazines anymore, so
Right.
so
Who
hard,
does?
so hard to read.
Yeah, you read the caption for a video online, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's all you have time for.
But yeah, when I was a kid, boy, I subscribed to all the ski magazines, read Powder all the time. Just it was awesome.
That's good. That's good. So tell me a little bit about your background. You saw those questions, right? A few things I said.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I have not opened my email this morning, so
okay.
I didn't see your response. I didn't see your questions.
Sorry about that.
Well, it was just last minute, and I had some projects
Yeah.
I was working on. So
Yeah. Let's start out talk about the ski resorts you now own. It's Purgatory, Hesperus, Potterito, Sipapu, and I'm trying to think, one more, right?
Or I can just go through it.
Yeah, totally.
So let's see, you got the two in New Mexico. Then we also, in Colorado, also have Purgatory Snowcat Adventures.
That's right.
Our 35,000 acre snowcat permit. And then in Texas, we have Spider Mountain Mountain Bike Park, Lister Mountain Bike Park there.
Oh, wow.
Where you have a ski lift that runs year round for mountain biking.
Yeah.
It's the only year round mountain bike park in the country.
Ah.
And then in Arizona, we have Snowbowl. But we also have Elk Ridge, which is in Williams, Arizona, that we're trying to get reopened.
Ah.
It hasn't been open in a few years.
Do you think that'll be open for this season?
No.
No. Next season?
Probably going to be years.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's very complicated political
Where
structure to get it, to stuff we're dealing with to get it reopened.
Where is Williams? Is that in the eastern part of the state?
It's just west of Flagstaff.
Oh, okay.
Half an hour or so.
Oh, I know where Williams is.
So the train goes to Grand Canyon in there.
Yeah.
And then in Utah we have Bryan Head and Nordic Valley. And then in Nevada we have Lee Canyon, outside of Vegas.
Uh-huh.
And then in Oregon we have Willamette,
Wow.
between Eugene and what's the town everybody lives up there? The Durango of Oregon.
Bend?
Bend.
Yeah.
So between there, Eugene and Bend. And then in South America we have Valle Nevado.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big expansion from the Outside Magazine article. So one of the things I read about you is that you, well, for a lot of those resorts you have a personal connection. The other thing was just how you want to keep skiing affordable, so accessible for most folks.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
One thing I do, I ski a lot myself, and I'm a pretty good skier. But I keep in mind, every level of skier, both in ability and income level. Because I was a beginner skier as a 15-year-old when I first started, and also I didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I always keep that in mind for all our customers, and what would they want? In terms of terrain and what matters to them, and really trying to make a ski resort as much as it can be affordable and have opportunities for all types of skiers, so the entire family can go and enjoy the experience and be there together.
Yeah.
So that was one of our early mottos at CVP, was family friendly, family fun, and so we really tried to continue to go with that.
Yeah. I assume you have kids as well.
Yeah.
They skiers?
Adults.
Oh yeah.
They ski. They're good skiers. So they got to start a lot earlier than me. Garrett started at 2, and McKenna started skiing at 1.
What are some of the challenges of having so many skiers that are so spread out geographically?
Well, one of the bulk of it isn't that spread out. The bulk of it is in the core Southwest. There's only a few that are outside that, but it does make it more challenging, for sure. When it's in that core group, it's a lot easier to kind of do a little loop trip and see them all. You're not driving to South America very easily. Even Oregon is a little bit of a haul.
Yeah.
So it's certainly challenging, and we've gone through various generations of how we manage the company, and I say that it kind of changes every year and a half at some level how we do it. So we just had Sipapu. That was our first resort,
Yeah.
and I understand that you actually grew up skiing there some too yourself. Is that right?
I've skied Sipapu a few times.
Okay.
I love Sipapu.
Okay.
I grew up in Los Alamos.
Isn't that a
with
fun
Dean. I
place?
went to high school with
Okay.
Dean.
Oh, okay. Well, you're one of the lucky ones.
His parents lived next door to my parents for about 40 years.
Oh, how cool is that?
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Well, you know how great Pajarito is.
Oh, yeah.
But let's see, where was I going with that? Yeah, so it's a lot simpler when we have one resort. I just was very involved and worked with our general manager John Paul Bradley, and so we, relatively small resort, and we just ran it. Then when we rapidly went from 1 to 4, 2014-15, we started kind of, as we brought them in, we kind of just started a centralized structure, because me and some of my partners and our team knew how we wanted to do things, and it worked pretty well with the 4 resorts. But as soon as we went to 5 and 6, then it was like, ooh, this isn't going to work. So we started to decentralize a lot of leadership of how it worked, and really try to have like a GM, CEO type model where each resort can run on its own, whether we're involved or not.
Mm.
Now, obviously, us being involved provides additional resources and not just monetarily, but in strategy and experience and those kinds of things. But that's like an optional, that's an add-on to make the things run better. And so the resorts actually run very decentralized at this point, on a day-to-day manner. And we get more involved with capital expenditures and those kinds of things. You have to be on our pass program. We don't have resorts don't have a choice on that,
What are the big challenges ahead for the ski industry in general? I mean, we got climate, we got housing problems. What do you see? Is there anything else you see?
I think housing is the toughest one.
Yeah.
It's really difficult for people. Housing has got so expensive. Some of these mountain communities don't want to build new housing. The people who live here are opposed to it, and it really makes it unreachable for the typical person that wants to work in the mountains and work in the restaurants and all that. And we really do need the people who live here's minds to change and to try to make housing more affordable.
Yeah,
I don't think it's right to well, I'm here now, let's close the gate.
Right.
I don't think that's a right mentality. I don't think it's particularly moral, frankly. And the climate front, our resorts are high elevation, and that makes a big difference. People are like, oh, you're in the Southwest, desert, all that. Yeah, we're high elevation.
Yeah.
We get snow, it gets cold.
Yeah.
Our seasons are growing, even nationally. When you factor in the Pennsylvanias of the world where they don't have much elevation. When you take the country as a whole, the ski season's actually been getting longer over the last 20 years.
I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
So.
I was shocked to learn through Christiana down at Sipapu. I was talking to her a couple weeks ago, and she said that one of the big issues there is housing. I thought, Peñasco and all the people live around there? Really? Yeah, sure enough.
Yeah, it's a challenge all over. We've been looking at buying some employee housing in the area. We're actually talking with one of my folks on that this morning, just an hour ago.
Oh.
So.
Did you come up with the Power Pass?
I can't remember who for sure came with that term. It may have been me, but all these things are a group effort. When we come up with an idea, we talk about it, brainstorm about it, and try to decide what's the best idea. And we'll often 50 ideas will go up on the board and try to come up with what the best one is. But yeah, the concept is that it gives the customer the power to decide when and where they want to ski.
Yeah.
Especially if you live in the Southwest here, the options are awesome with our pass.
They are. Yeah.
So,
I love all these resorts. No deals with Taos though yet, huh?
at one point we had a lot of like 3-day partnerships, a lot of resorts, and we don't have a whole lot anymore. I'm not sure how much longer that's going to last at all, frankly. So, you know, if they want to sell Tahoe to me, yeah.
You're being recorded. You said, I read that article, you invested about 30 million at this point. That's an old article, that's 6 years old. You must have a lot more than that by now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think our website has a number from a year ago on it. I don't remember exactly what it is. But we certainly have continued to invest over the last 6 years, but it has gotten harder. The really big groups, like Bell and Alterra, are building so many lifts that the lift companies literally don't have capacity for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's really gotten harder for the smaller groups and small resorts to keep building lifts.
Yeah.
It's a real challenge. It's actually not only do the big groups, are taking up all that demand, but they typically don't sell their old lifts. So how is a small resort supposed to upgrade their infrastructure if they can't afford the new lifts and the big groups won't sell their old lifts?
Yeah.
And if the small resorts don't survive, then how's this all going to work?
Yeah. How's it going?
Most people don't just say, "Oh, I'll spend $10,000 going to try skiing out at Bell for the first time." They don't do that.
Yeah.
That's not how you get most of your new skiers, at least as I understand it. So yeah, if you don't have those feeder resorts, and you really don't see, a whole lot of that of support for those independent resorts, and that's a way that the bigger resorts could help those mom and pops, is by selling their lifts to them. So
Interesting observation. Tell me, what's new for MCP and all your resorts this year? What are you excited about? What sticks in your mind as a happy thing, a happy thought?
Wow.
Happy Gilmore, happy place.
Well, adding, in the last 12 months or so, we added Willamette and Valle Nevado and Lee Canyon in Las Vegas. So those are all exciting developments. The Valle Nevado and Lee Canyon ones I started working on about 7 years ago. So they were really long processes to make those happen. And so to finally get those, they were really important ones for us. And so to add those, that's a huge success for us.
Yeah.
We're just really excited about that. And the opportunities at Lee Canyon, with it being Las Vegas, north end of town, is only 35 minutes away.
That's amazing.
The opportunities there, and it's got incredible terrain in the permanent area. I mean, it's kind of looks like the Tahoe of Nevada. We just got to get the approvals to put lifts up higher and access that terrain.
Is that near Mount Charleston?
It's on Mount Charleston, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
It's like a little sub peak.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a sub peak of the main peak.
Okay.
The main peak's kind of behind it a little bit. So that's really exciting, opportunity there. And then Valle Nevado is just incredible. We have 23,000 acres to work with to expand the skiing. Only about a third of it's developed, or about a tenth of it actually is only developed right now. So they're just super exciting, the things that we can do there.
Yeah.
And it's going to be incredible. We're going to make it a total bucket list resort that kind of people have to go to. You got to go hilo skiing, you got to go to Japan,
Yeah.
you got to go to Valle Nevado.
That's good.
So yeah, it's neat.
Tell me about the tour bus a little bit.
That's funny. Where'd you hear about that?
It was in the outside.
Oh.
I just got into that this morning.
Yeah, we don't use it that much anymore. It kind of just gets used once or twice a year for, little powder tours. It was probably in that. So what they're talking about in that article, yeah, going to the powder tours. We used to use it a lot for our business travel, but don't as much now. But yeah, it's just fun. It's a big bus. It used to be on like Garth Brooks' tour, I think it was on one point, and it's just kind of fun to get a bunch of friends together and go chase powder, on the bus.
Yeah.
And so we'll just kind of, I'm sure you've done, or, okay, where are we going? Looks like it's supposed to snow in Tahoe, let's go. And you head out, and then follow the storm back east,
Yeah.
Basically the storm leaves, drive into Utah, hit it there, it hits Colorado, drive into Colorado, hit it there. Sometimes you ski the same storm for like 5 days,
Yeah.
So, some people think you're crazy. What are you guys doing? We're driving back into the storm.
It beats following the dead, that's for sure.
What? Yeah, I think so. But it's kind of, people don't ski, just think you're crazy. Wait, they're so glad the storm's gone,
Yeah, yeah.
and you're driving back into it,
I'm an old climber, we do the opposite, we avoid the storms.
Okay.
I don't have any.
You're no climber, so you're more of a climber than skier, but you're riding for powder.
I've skied all my life.
Okay.
I grew up in Australia skiing and then moved to the United States.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of other questions, just one quick one. What else should the public know about you and MCP? What do you think?
Oh boy, that's a good question.
The whole benevolence philosophy is really interesting and cool one, I think.
Yeah, we say we're skiing first,
Yeah,
but we're really family first.
yeah,
But we're a ski company, so we're gonna, you said family first, but okay, what's that?
skiing family.
But we really do have that mindset, and so not only do we try to create this incredible experience for our customers and our communities, but really try to create a great experience for our employees too. Where they really understand that, and they've got a sick kid at home or whatever, go take care of your kid, or you need to go to a funeral, yeah, leave for a few days, like, you don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I should be at work, There's a lot of big companies that can be a challenge, and, while we're still not huge at one level, good sized company, 4,500 employees now,
Oh, wow.
around the world, and so yeah, that's, I think that's a pretty good thing for folks to know about us that might not
Family first.
totally understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have, one of our things we say is family matters,
Yeah.
it's part of the company, but in a lot of ways it really is that, really is family first. So, but we do love to ski, we are addicted to it, like straight up. I spent a month down in Chile, skiing at a resort down there, and just got back a couple weeks or so ago, and a whole bunch of our team, 50 members, came down for a summit meeting, we call it. Came down, and I think we skied more than we sat in meetings.
Boost the economy of the country too, while you're at
Yeah.
it, apparently.
So, and I think that's important. We don't just talk about skiing first; we really believe it.
Cool.
So,
Good. All right. Anything else?
I think we're good.
Good.
All right.